Hi guys, this is Brian again with an update video about Robert Kubica's situation. Of course, today Twitter has been awash with news over Robert Kubica's comeback, having completed 115 laps in the 2012 Lotus, the E20, which Kimi Raikkonen drove to victory at Abu Dhabi 2012. Now, to make 115 laps after having been away for over 6 years is just incredible. Especially when you consider that hand that Kubica damaged, it still must be giving him problems to a certain extent. I mean, F1 Twitter was so awash with Kubica news that one particular Twitterer, Charlie, I don't know your name, but called it Kubiquitous. Because let's face it, that's all anyone's talking about today. Robert Kubica. I mean, that horrendous rally accident they had back in 2011 saw the barrier, cut his hand, damaged nerve endings inside his hand, so he's had problems with his hand since. And he also badly, he broke his legs, and he also had other significant damage to his back as well. So, you know, he's been spending his time since then rallying, sports car driving, competing in the Renault Sport Trophy, which is sort of quite pitiful, really, in a sort of way when you consider the amount of talent he had. You know, he won the 2008 Canadian Grand Prix, and he had an impressive season in 2010 with Renault. So, you know, I'm sure he's getting nostalgic again, and he's really, and you know, if his second test at Hungary goes well, I'm pretty sure he'll be begging Renault to get rid of Jolyon Palmer so that he can take over, because let's face it, Jolyon Palmer is absolutely terrible. There's no other way of saying it. So, in other news, Kevin Magnussen looks like he'll be seeing out a further 5 Friday practice sessions for the rest of 2017 due to contractual issues, because Roman Grosjean, his teammate, had his contract completed in 2015 and Kevin had it done last year. So, yeah, it looks like he's the second choice driver in a way, even though he's very willing to accept it. But of course, he also had issue. Of course, apparently he went to court this week or last week. Apparently, because he was having issues with his ex-manager Dorte Rees Madsen, who is currently claiming some sort of libel against K-Mag for current and future earnings in Copenhagen. So, you know, really, he does seem to, you know, Kevin Magnussen does seem to come with quite a bit of baggage, I have to say. You know, he's got talent, but he always seems so inconsistent. There were also news of Red Bull magnate Dietrich Mateschitz having a secret meeting with new F1 owner John Maloney, who is one of the tycoons behind Liberty Media. As it stands, of course, Red Bull have, you know, Christian Horner and Helmut Marko have been absolutely infuriated by the lack of raw power from that Renault power unit, and they have been haggling the FIA and Liberty Media to get rid of these power units, because let's face it, only Mercedes and Ferrari have a chance. And you know, if you've got a Renault engine or a Honda engine of all things, you are kind of stuffed out a lot of power tracks, so I can't really blame them. And of course, a lot of people have been saying, well, it could be, you know, twin turbo V6s with the MGU-H removed, the heat generator removed, in order to make the power units cheaper, more powerful, and less expensive. Of course, apparently these plans would help the teams be able help the manufacturers produce engines that can pump out 1,200 horsepower. Force India are apparently going to commit themselves to less extreme T-wings. Although I'm not going to hold my breath for that, because at Monaco, Red Bull had a double-decker T-wing, whilst Force India had a triple-decker. Well, apparently, though, they're saying that they might use a variant of it in Singapore, Hungary. So, yeah, I'd like to see the sport banned. And personally, Pascal Wehrlein has no back problems after his horrific crash in Monaco. That's good to hear. So he'll be racing in this weekend's Canadian Grand Prix. Russia won a later race date in 2018 because, well, I don't know what difference it's going to make. The race is going to be absolutely boring, but, you know, that's Russians for you. Monaco will build new F1 pits for 2018, which is sort of strange considering they built their latest pit infrastructure back in 2004, which is only 13 years ago. Apparently, Prince Albert confided to friends that they would splash out 30 million euros for a new pit lane and a new paddock. So I suppose, you know, the corporate men and the sponsors can enjoy themselves a bit more. Kind of. Well, apparently the new pit building will be 2 stories, so they'll have more space. Well, you know, when you're that rich, you can just spend your money on anything. Jacques Villeneuve says that he has no regrets over his time at BAR because of the fact that they ended up becoming Mercedes. Well, apparently, according to Le Journal du Mondial, Jacques Villeneuve paid every dollar to buy Tyrrell. That's, well, I suppose that's probably why he stayed at BAR for so many years, because he was having to be able to pay back all his debt by driving for them. Crikey. Well, sorry, Jack, mate. The only reason why Mercedes are so good is because of Ross Brawn, Toto, Wolff, and all the people that have been working there since you left, so don't get smug, mate. Toto Wolff, on the other hand, says that Ferrari have had a head start because they were 16 weeks ahead, apparently. Because they started back in December 2015, whilst Mercedes only started back in March 2016. Well, I'm sorry, Toto, mate. The fact that you got so carried away with trying to win the 2016 World Championship is sort of your problem. You really should have started a lot sooner. Why? That's not our problem, mate. Fernando Alonso might not do 2018 Indy 500, says Zach Brown. Of course, I'm pretty sure the CEOs at McLaren were not particularly pleased, but then they were willing to let him do it. So, well, I'm pretty sure he might do. That would only be the case if next year's McLaren Honda somehow happens to be competitive. So, yeah, but judging by the way McLaren have been going this season, I wouldn't really hold my breath for that one. Christian Horner forgives Verstappen for outburst during the Monaco Grand Prix, where he was absolutely angry that Daniel Ricciardo got track advantage. Well, Max, I'm sorry, mate. These sort of things happen, okay? Don't act like you're so above it all, okay? I mean, you gotta realise your teams are, after all, trying to calculate how to get you in fresh air, okay? And I know Valtteri Bottas had a terrible race. Well, let's face it. He was driving a Mercedes after all. And Bernie Ecclestone has been moaning about how Liberty Media are now running Formula 1 like Starbucks. Oh, God, go away, Bernie. Just go away. I mean, I know, well, to be fair, you didn't invest in the sport that much in your last few years, so... And also, he's been moaning about how Liberty Media have been unsettling broadcasters. Well, Bernie, Bernie, with your instructions to keep banning teams from putting stuff on social media, such as in-pit garage footage and you know, brief testing moments and so on and so forth. Well, the fact that you always said that you wanted to make Formula One management run create a profit for shareholders sort of sums up your attitude, to be honest. So, you know, you can moan at Chase Carey and Ross Brawn and all the rest of it, but just shut up. Paredes, Mario Isola plays down the Italian conspiracy to help Ferrari dominate. Well, of course there's no conspiracy. I do wonder why Ferrari appeared to be favouring Sebastian Vettel, and of course, coming to Kimi Raikkonen, Mika Salo, his countryman, says that there are no good candidates to replace him for 2018. Well, you know, I don't know what Kimi wants to do now. Personally, I want him to leave Ferrari and go to somewhere else, but that's Kimi's choice. And of course, then of course, Fernando Alonso has been moaning about Honda upgrades. Well, same old story. And then Jackie Stewart has been saying that don't judge Stroll until 2018. Well, I'm sorry, Jackie, but you know, I know he's only 18, but this was a choice between Lance himself and his dad Lawrence. Like, he should have realised that he should be in GP2. Like, honestly, this guy isn't better than the likes of Charles Leclerc and, you know, Giovinazzi and Gasly yet. He's still got a lot to develop, and you know, of course, the Canadian Grand Prix is coming up next, but you know, well, apparently his boss Claire Williams has been saying he is being treated unfairly and gratuitously. Well, I think it's been judged very fairly evenly, to be honest. But yeah, so you know, the big headline, you know, Kubiquitous has been the main headline of today, the 6th of June 2017. If you like that video, please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you again next time.